Good morning or good evening. Good evening. I'm so glad you brought, I'm so used to saying good morning. I'm so glad you dropped in. Hello, guests. My name is Sandra Jennings. This is Passion Speak, where we give those with a passion a platform to speak. I'm so happy that you dropped in to observe what we're going to talk about tonight. If this is your first time dropping in, thank you. We give you thanks. If you've been in before and you're coming back, we give you thanks and do what you want. Share the platform, share it if you think anybody would be interested in this phenomenal person. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Keli Christopher. Dr. Keli Christopher is the founder of STEM Greenhouse. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And her target audience is urban youth or at-risk youth, and she's going to talk all about it. Dr. Keli. Hi, Dr.
Hey,
Keli. I don't know to call you Dr. Keli or Dr. Christopher. I've been calling you I've been calling you Keli. Is that okay?
that's fine.
Aw, I knew
Yeah.
it. She's humble. I appreciate your time tonight. I let me tell you, when I saw what I saw you posting over the summer, you were with your STEM children, the youth that's in your program, and I saw that, I was like, who, what? I was seeing all kinds of great things. And so, anyway, I need you to talk to us about your background and how it brought you into what you are doing today with STEM.
Okay, thank you. I am so happy to be here and I appreciate this opportunity. Um, how I got into STEM is it's just an interesting path because I grew up as a young Black girl in Grand Rapids and I went to an urban school and I didn't particularly like math. And I somehow in middle school, things changed for me. I had a counselor who really challenged me to take an advanced math class, and I was not a good math student, but that really set me up to start working harder in math. And that really was all it took. I just think I wasn't really giving math a fair chance. And so I went to high school. I went to Ottawa Hills High School. I was a valedictorian there, decided to go into engineering. But I did not decide to go into engineering until I saw a Black female engineer. And I think that's important because so many times we parade a lot of white people in front of our children, expecting them to want a STEM career. But, you know, a lot of the children that I work with, especially the boys, they want to be professional athletes because that's what they see successful Black men do. So it's very important to me that our children have images, people that look like them, that are in STEM. And so after I graduated from North Carolina A&T State University, which is an HBCU, I'm very much a proponent and advocate for historically Black colleges and universities. I went to North Carolina A&T. They produce more Black engineers than any other school in the country. And then I went to graduate school at the University of Illinois. And there I was the first Black person to get a PhD in agricultural engineering. And I became the third Black woman in the world to get a PhD in agricultural engineering. And so these spaces are not diverse.
Feels, I want you to know that. I'm just checking. That is
well,
amazing.
well, you know, and it's really sad that in the 21st century, you know, and I got my PhD 15 years ago, or more than 15 years ago, and you know, they just got another Black graduate with a PhD. You know, that's just how pitiful things are right now. But one of the reasons that is happening is because we are not preparing young Black children to be successful in STEM. We are, they have just as much interest, they have just as much potential. They just don't have the opportunity and they don't have mentors. They don't have that guidance. We want them to enter into college ready. You know, I'm working with middle school students mostly right now. I want them to enter into high school ready for the next step. And if we don't start early, we're not going to be able to get that next generation of STEM professionals. So if we want a world, a community where we have enough doctors and lawyers and engineers and scientists, we have to start investing in our children to get there. And the reality is there's not enough white children to fill all the STEM positions in our community. If we do not create special programming just for children of color, we as a community, we're going to be in trouble. There's just not going to be enough people. The hospitals, the engineering, the roads. All of this is not going to happen if we don't produce enough people of color with engineering and science backgrounds.
Now that you would think that that fact alone would be enough to get you some healthy grants, huh? Just that fact alone, like there are
You
not
would think.
enough humans without blacks, there are not enough humans without Asians and so on, but particularly blacks because we're when it comes to STEM, we're an endangered species.
Well, and and unfortunately, we are not giving our children what they need. The middle school students that I work with don't have science teachers. I had a science teacher when I was in middle school, but right now, the 21st century, when we need science the most, our students do not have science teachers. We have only 8% of the Black students in Grand Rapids Public Schools are proficient in math. 8%. So, how are we going to produce those people ready for 21st century careers? We want them to have the jobs that pay well. We want them to be able to break cycles of poverty. So if we want to do that, we have to do better as a community. I sometimes talk to businesses and I say, it's not like you're doing Black children a favor by doing programming and investing in their education. This is a sustainability plan for you. You're going to need these children, and you're
Right.
going to need people to work in this community. It's very hard to get a Black person to come from another city to Grand Rapids, but the people that are here right now, you have a chance to get people that want to stay in our community and grow with their families. And so it's definitely, I feel like this is a win for everybody. It's not just for the kids, it's for
Mhm.
our community.
I agree. We have a Facebook user. Is just saying hi. I want to put them up there and demonstrate that your name is not going to come up unless you click on the link and give us permission. So hi, Facebook user. But
Yes, hello.
I want to talk real quick about who your target children are. Like this speaks to the need for it. Like you only serve a certain amount of people right now just because you're just one person, you and your volunteers.
Yeah.
You're just a small group. So who are you targeting right now because of your small group?
Well, first I want to say that STEM Greenhouse has been around for 7 years, and unfortunately, there's a lot of racism in philanthropy. And even though I have the degrees and the education and the experience and the results, I still struggle to get support because funders tend to just want to give to the same big name organizations. And so, although I'm the only full time employee STEM Greenhouse has ever had. I hope to change that soon because we want programming that extends into high school so that we can mentor and follow these children along. We want programming that starts earlier in elementary school. Right now, my focus tends to be on Southeast Grand Rapids, but not necessarily, solely Southeast Grand Rapids. I'm looking to go to schools that do not have certified science teachers. So you will not find me at schools that have all the resources. I'm trying to go to the places where students don't have any resources, where the teachers are not only not certified in science, they don't have a budget for supplies or anything. So that's my priority. But it doesn't mean that I do not extend programming to other students. Just this past summer, the Sankofa STEM Academy, we were able to reach some students that were, from maybe suburban districts, from charter schools, from Christian schools. And it's important for those students to have mentors in STEM that look like them as well. This past summer, I had 5 Black male teachers, and most students will never have a Black male teacher in their entire life. So this is a great opportunity. We were able to get great results because I think that it's so powerful for children to be in an environment where other children are working hard towards their education, and also to have mentors and teachers that look like them. So yeah, but like you might be some of my students might be the only Black child in their classroom, and it's very important for them to have this experience as well, and the opportunity to learn about spaces like HBCUs where you can be in an environment where excellence is the norm, and it's Black excellence is the norm. And I guess that's kind of what I was trying to create with this summer program, just a little mini
I want to
HBCU
talk.
experience.
You keep referring to summer program, and I'm just itching because I have the website pulled up. This is why my mouth was so. I was like, I am in love with this program. I gotta share this. So
Okay, go ahead.
this is the website. Oh, and I was like, this landing page is just
Yeah, I
near
love that
my heart.
picture.
Oh, yeah. So, but I'm gonna go. We don't have time to go through everything, but I want to go through some of the things that I found real nice. And this was the Sankofa STEM Academy. It was your summer program, right?
Yeah, and Sankofa is an Adinkra word. It's from Ghana in West Africa. And really, it's a symbol and a word that says we're going to look back to the past and to protect and preserve our future. And so, one of the things that we did with this group, we broke the students into groups based on ancient civilizations in Africa and South America that were innovators in STEM. We want the students to know that being a part of STEM is our place. We have been innovators in STEM since the beginning, since Kush and Dogon and Songhai tribes and Inca in South America. So we want them to know that this STEM is not a white thing. Their heritage is in science, technology, engineering, and math. And we're so proud of them, their growth over the summer. They were really good kids. Sometimes we had to sometimes it was culturally a challenge for them. We had this program at Davenport University. So just being able to be in a space where you're going to college every day, you're changing classes just like you would if you were a college student, going to different buildings, having lunch in the cafeteria. Those are things that I want the kids to know that they belong in college. College is not a foreign space to them. They will be comfortable when they're there. And so, we just had a great time.
So this is your summer crew right here, your group.
Yes, this was the Sankofa STEM Academy. We have 50 students this summer. For this program, the students that are in the priority schools that I go to, normally they have priority. So that would be Dickinson Academy, Martin Luther King Jr. Academy. But we also worked with Southwest Community Campus this year. And so we had buses that would transport the students from their home schools to Davenport, and also parents dropped off their kids at the school, and they were there from 9 a.m. to 2:30, and we had some great field trips. And you can see there's some of our teachers. We went roller skating, and we went to Craig's Cruisers, and just a lot of fun. We ended it at we went to the Air Zoo in Kalamazoo, so it was just a fun experience. But one of the reasons it was fun was because the kids were working hard. I'll be honest. They had 2 math classes, 2 science classes, coding class where they learned computer programming, financial literacy class. I was teaching college success. How do you apply to college? What type of grades do you need? What type of test scores do you need? How much does college cost? Because these are things that kids don't always know. And so many of them, I think they could take from this, if nothing else, wow, I really need to get myself together if I want to achieve the goals that I want to achieve.
Okay. You were covered by MLive. That's nice.
Yeah, we had a really good article. If anybody wants to go to the website and take a look at that link, just they can do that. And then we in that other link is to the video. We have a music video with all the students and what they want to be when they grow up.
Is that this one, Meet the 21?
Yeah. So if anybody wants to see that video, it's on YouTube. So they can also check out my YouTube channel.
Dr. Keli.
You remember this one?
I remember this one. I watched.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, she's doing some great things with these.
Well, and I had to teach them how to dance. I mean, learning to do the hustle is a part of Black culture. My daughter participated in this program, and one of the college students that was working with us was teaching her how to play spades over the summer. And I said, I have the best STEM program ever. You're going to learn the hustle and how to play spades. It felt like college for real. But one of the best things about that video is that it shows what each child wants to be when they grow up. And I think it's just going to be cool for them to look back one day to see their 7th grade, 8th grade self and what they wanted to be when they grow up. And, because we had this great partnership with Spectrum Health, and we had some opportunities whenever we went to their medical school. The kids got to suture and do CPR and do examinations. And it was just a fabulous experience. And so I think that, all of those, and they work with Black doctors, so it was just such a cool opportunity. They work with Black architects. We had different architects that came in, people of color who are engineers from Steelcase, architects from various companies, cybersecurity specialists. So we were jamming, and I'm telling you, not every kid wanted to dance. Boy, let me tell you, that was pulling teeth for some of them, but then some of them just loved it. So I was a dancer back in the day, so I wanted to make sure they knew that, sometimes when I was a little kid, I thought that somebody who got a PhD in engineering was, like an alien or something. I want them to know that they can be a normal Black person. Sometimes we have in our mind an image of what even a Black person is or how they are if they are into STEM. I want them to know that just regular Black people become doctors and lawyers and engineers and scientists. And we have families and children, and we go to church. We love our community, and we just hope that when they grow up, they will, positively impact our community too.
One thing that I really liked about this, as you're speaking, is you made it cool to be smart, to be
Exactly.
to learn and to flaunt your intelligence, and that was cool. Instead of being afraid of your peers, being afraid to learn, being afraid to be outspoken in math and science and technology,
Yes.
and then so now all the children are coming. I just love this video. I watched the
Well,
entire thing when I
I
first saw
know.
it. I was like, no, look at these babies
I
coming up
know.
and learning. And then I don't know whose grade card, and we got to be careful about calling names. In fact, I probably should even take this off. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop sharing for the time being, but you share someone's grades, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, there weren't even one person's grades. That was just the average, increase in our
It was
math computations. So, like before the program started, our average student who was in sixth through eighth grade was like at maybe the fifth grade level of math, or lower in math computations. But by the end of that 4 or 5 weeks, they were now at seventh. The average was seventh or eighth grade level. And so that just shows you that our kids are completely capable of doing this work. I don't care what anybody says. We could do amazing things. But one of the keys is, and research shows this, is that Black children, or just any child, learns best from people who are demographically similar to them. So if right now, like 85-90% of the teachers in a school district are white, well, what success rate does that leave our children with? That's going to benefit the white children. White children learn best from white teachers. Black children are going to learn best from Black teachers. And even though we can't always hire everybody in one race or whatever, I think that sometimes is the elephant in the room. People just don't want to know, let's recognize how important and powerful it is to have people of color teaching you, that share your culture, and someone that you can look to as something, give you a role model for the future.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So, what I want, we covered funding, we covered test scoring, because I really, I was like, oh yeah, that's putting your money where your mouth is. That's
Yep.
showing the funders like this program works when you're
Well, I hope it will show, because we don't get a lot of funding, I'll be honest. But the goal is to change that, and I think that no other group really can show these types of results. But of course, most organizations are not working with someone who has a PhD in engineering, or a person of color. So we have some unique circumstances that allow us to achieve what we achieve. And I think it's important for people. We don't only need big funders. We take any donations. It's people. One of the things that was really nice about this summer program is that it was pretty much funded by using connections that Black people had. Davenport University gave us that space for free. That was going to be a huge expense. But that's because a Black woman made that happen for us, and a Black man at Spectrum Health made the funding happen so that we could pay the teachers and buy the supplies and everything that we needed, and the food and the transportation. So people of color, I think that as a community, we have everything we need to take care of our children. We don't need to always look to white people or other, some savior all the time. We have put ourselves in different positions in different companies, we can make sure that resources are available for our students. We can give ourselves personally, but sometimes, we might just have a connection. I'm looking for people of color who are in STEM. If you know people of color who are in STEM, and I need speakers and people to be mentors for these kids, I would love to have those connections. So anybody that's listening that knows someone that maybe could help us, both the after school programming, but also the the programming during the summer or during the school day, please have them, get in touch with us. The website is scrolling across the bottom, stemgreenhouse.org. And so we can be contacted through that website. So we love to hear from you. And also we have a newsletter, a quarterly newsletter. So if you're just kind of interested in following STEM Greenhouse and, what we're doing next, because there's always going to be something next. I have a feeling that the growth for STEM Greenhouse is about to get exponential. Those graphs where you just go along and then finally it just takes off.
Is this your first summer program?
This is the first year of our summer program, yeah. So we've been doing the after school for about 5 years, and we're going to be expanding to 2 new schools this year, and we're going to be expanding to elementary school programming as well. But the summer program is something that's really near and dear to my heart, and I want to make sure it grows. We serve 50 students, but think of the need. The need is super great. Like so many kids, even if they don't want to become a STEM professional, they need math and science to go to college. They need the math to do well on the ACT, the SAT, those college entrance exams.
Yeah.
And so, that's something I always want the kids to know. They take a little mock ACT at the end, just so they know that this is, I don't care if you want to go to college just to play basketball or you want to major in art, or it doesn't matter. This is what you need so that you can be successful and get those scholarships that you need as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap up, we have our Facebook user who didn't click on the link to reveal, and they said they will watch the replay. They have to run.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Yeah.
pass that on. So, wrapping it up, in a perfect world, where would you like to see STEM Greenhouse go?
Well, first of all, I feel that more children need access to these programs, particularly, children who do not have science teachers in their middle schools. If you are at a middle school and you do not have a certified science teacher in that school, I think all of those children should have access to additional programming. And I think our community has the resources to make that happen. The schools right now, there's not enough teachers, but there are people like me who are STEM professionals that can do work. I mean, I have a PhD in engineering. I can teach some math and science to middle school students, but I also want to, we're working on a high school program so that we will be working with a high school to support the teachers, to support the students, so that we can have students really excel, not to just kind of do the basics and do the best on their own, but they would have the mentoring and the guidance that they need to do work at a very high level, the level that is needed and required to go into STEM careers. So I think the future is very bright for STEM Greenhouse. Right now, we're working with 50 students here, 50 students there, but I really see this as an opportunity for hundreds of students eventually. Because, like I said, the need is great, and we have to stop acting like in 10 years, all those cute little kids are going to be in the workforce. So we got to make sure we don't have time. We don't have time to wait on some other generation. We need this for them. We need them being doctors and engineers and scientists right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep you guys in my prayers. And if I come across some funding, including my own pocket,
hey, at low everything,
I will make sure, because I do have a heart for the children, because I think that yesterday I talked with a professional, Denavi Moje. We were talking about expungement. I think if we get them on the right path in your class, we don't have to talk about expungement.
Exactly.
Everybody needs a little hope, but yeah, I think we got to get them young. We got to train them. We got to bring them up, and
that's right.
And I love the work that you are doing. I appreciate you. I've been talking with Dr. Keli Christopher of STEM Greenhouse, stemgreenhouse.org, and she is doing amazing. Check her out on the web. Check her out on Facebook. And Dr. Christopher, thank you for joining us. I am here on Passion Speak, where we give those with passion a platform to speak. I really appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Okay.